We have a good friend of ours in Rocco. He owns Fahrenheit in Cleveland. He's like, hey, dude, listen, I want to help you with Christmas. Oh, sorry, hold on.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Oh man, you want to kill some shit?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm in actually interview. I'll cover it. No, you're good, buddy. You want to play Call of Duty?
Do you want to go kill some shit? Stipe Miocic here on Oral Sessions. This is amazing. Thanks for coming to hang out with me.
Hey, thanks for having me.
What do I even owe the pleasure of you being on the show? I mean, we booked you for the show, and I thought that someone was like pulling a prank on me.
Oh, no, I'm a man of my word. That's what I'm here for.
Okay, before we started, I don't know if we were recording on it or not, but I did notice that you were drinking a full regular Coke right now, which what a dream. What an absolute treat. But are you not in fight camp right now? What's going on?
I think I'm always in fight camp. I think, either at home and I'm getting yelled at by the wife because I did something wrong or I broke something in the house or, training for a fight. No, I do, I'm a lighter heavyweight, so I don't have to, be so strict. I do eat healthy. I do watch what I eat, but listen, I'm human. I like to enjoy a few things.
Hell yeah. I like that. Okay, so now it's announced. UFC 260, it's happening. You and Francis, tell me all of the ways in which you plan on absolutely destroying this man for the second time.
Francis, he's a super tough guy. He's been knocking everyone out again, and he's on a tear. And unfortunately, he's got to fight me again. That's the bad part. He's definitely gotten better, but so have I. I know I'm getting older, but I'm gotten wiser, and I'm learning a few new tricks on my sleeve. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, which is a lie. I feel like I've learned a lot ever since that last fight, which was a couple years ago. So, it's, I see the same outcome. I'm going to walk out with the belt still wrapped on my waist, hand raised, and still.
Hell yeah. What kind of things have you been working on?
I think more of my timing and speed, just really working on speed. It's all about speed. I think speed kills. And I think that's one thing we worked on the last couple of camps, especially fighting DC.
Dare I say that Francis looks a little bulky right now? Is that going to be an issue for him, perhaps?
I hope so. Good. Get tight again. I would love it. Thank you.
That time that you were in the ring with DC and Brock Lesnar steps in there, what was going through your mind at that point in time?
I want to go home.
That was insane.
I want to go home. I just lost. It was just kind of weird. I've been lost in a couple of years. I just kind of felt, a guy I shouldn't have been knocked out by, got knocked out by, and it was just kind of a cluster. It was just had no idea what was going on. I figured he was probably going to come in there because right before I walked out, they showed him in the crowd on the TV. I'm like, want to see what's going on here. I kind of put two and two together, but it was just kind of weird. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I wish I would have got my moment to speak, and say, hey guys, listen, I want a rematch, but I didn't get that.
Yeah. I mean, once Brock has on those cowboy boots, who knows what's going to stop that man at that point.
Watch out.
Absolutely. How is the COVID world for you? Because you're a frontline worker.
It's just awkward. In the beginning, it was really awkward, I think, just because we had no idea what we were expecting, what's going on. And city I worked for, the people there were pretty diligent about wearing masks and being clean and washing their hands and just being smart. So we had some cases, but not some of these other cities around in the neighboring cities and neighborhood around. But it's just tough because everything was shut down. It was awkward. Just because you're not used to going out and enjoying yourself, go get a cocktail, and then after we had to shut down at 10. I don't know about you guys, but everything has to be closed by 10. So it was just weird, and so it just, wearing masks all the time. And
do you have a gym at home or do you go to a different gym when I know when you're like fight training, but just like regular day-to-day training?
Yeah. I have a gym I go to, Strong Stouts in Independence. We're a little bit south of Cleveland, like 10, 15 minutes. The last DC fight, quarantine hit and, everyone's like, when are you going to fight again? And I was like, oh. My gym's shut down. What do you want me to do? It's just so my wife, being the rock star that she is, she's like, all right, we're gonna move this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna get some mats. So now the one thing I never in a million years want to do is put a gym in my house because that's like my sanctuary. Yeah. It's like I don't want to talk about fighting, but it was actually a blessing in disguise because I'm always home, but I spent more time with my daughter. I get done working out, she run downstairs, and I'd be playing with her or in the pool, or I'd be home when she put her to bed. I wasn't trying to run home and get put her to bed, and it worked out great.
That's the thing that is always like funny to me. My husband and I bought our house out here in Las Vegas, and he was like adamant. As soon as we got the house, like, we're putting in a gym. He's a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
So he put in this whole gym in our garage, never uses it, doesn't use it, goes to a different gym to go work out. I'm like, why did we buy all of this stuff? But I get it. It's like you want to get out of the house and like, it feels like you're doing something else, right?
Yeah. I think it's all for show, because that's why I kind of have my house too. It's just for like, yeah, I do train, no big deal, but whatever. So I think it's all for show.
How about for your daughter? Does she get out there and like roll around on the mats with you and stuff yet?
Oh yeah, it's so right now she has her slide on there, and she has a little soccer goal, so she's been doing that for a little bit. She's loving that, and then I think eventually, if it's gonna happen, I'm gonna have to buy one of those blow up castles.
Oh hell yeah! Get her a bouncy castle.
We have high enough ceilings where it's gonna fit, so it's gonna be a struggle trying to knock it down and take it off, train, then put it back on, blow it back up, but whatever she wants, she gets.
That's amazing. I mean, if you've got the room for it and you've got that ceiling height, I feel like you have to pull the trigger, get those dad points.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I just I'm looking on like Facebook marketing and all that stuff, and I just haven't found the right one.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of options. My favorite thing is, well, I'm pregnant right now, so I'm not having cocktails and ordering dumb things online.
Congratulations.
But thank you. But prior to getting pregnant, that was a very favorite pastime of mine. Like, let's have some cocktails and see what kind of weird shit we can order to the house.
Right.
Have you guys ordered anything ridiculous during this pandemic of just like out of sheer boredom of like, what can we get?
Yeah, we always order, like we try to stay local businesses and stuff like that because they're struggling. So I mean, nothing too crazy. We have a good friend of ours in Rocco. He owns Fahrenheit in Cleveland. He's like, hey, dude, listen, I want to help you with Christmas. Oh, sorry, hold on.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Come on, man, you want to kill some shit?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm in actually interview. I'll cover it. No, you're good, buddy. You want to play Call of Duty?
You want to go kill some shit?
Yeah, that sounded really bad, Marcus. He's so funny. He's granny.
I figured that it was you're a big video game guy, right?
I love video games. Yeah.
Is that like the main?
I'm not good, but I love them.
What games are you playing?
Right now I'm Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Cold War. So I'm loving it. Just kills time, especially after a fight, after training. Like it just kind of, even though I'm yelling at the screen and getting pissed, it just kind of still brings me down from training.
Just talking shit to like teenagers on the internet.
Yeah, a little 10-year-old. I'm like, dude, I'll find out where you live, and I'm gonna come get you. You know who you're talking to?
So and they wait, when you're signed up in there, people can't actually see who you are, right? Like you use like a name or whatever.
My name is there. It says S Miocic. That's Miocic.
That's amazing. People must think you're bullshitting, right?
Yeah.
They must.
Yeah, well, I actually one time I was playing Fortnite back in the day, and I was like bored during the day. I think my daughter was taking a nap, so I'm like, yeah, jump on. So I'm playing, and I play with these guys, and like a squad, a quad, whatever. And we win. I'm like, oh my God, guys, it's a great win. I think it was like the first time I played Fortnite. It was like one of my first wins, whatever. I'm like, that was the first time I ever won. The guy's like, hey, on a serious note, like, you know what you sound like? I'm like, no, what's up? He's like, you sound like that UFC fighter Stipe. So I was like, I got one better for you. I am that guy. He's like, no way. It was great. That's
amazing.
I'm sorry that everyone keeps interrupting all of a sudden. Like,
no
we're
worries.
doing so good, and now selfish. They're all selfish. So.
They are. It's really ridiculous. I mean, let the man have an interview in a full Coke.
Jesus,
leave the man alone.
Right. Thank you.
So I found out about your gaming passion while listening to your new podcast. Tell me about it.
Oh yeah, Jabs, Just Awkward Buddies. Yeah, that was in the making for about 4 years.
Okay.
We were actually going to, me and my buddies John and Jamie were on the show with me. We're driving to Chicago for the Cleveland Indians Chicago Cubs World Series. It was Game 5, I believe. Right? Yes, Game 5. And I was like, hey guys, and we're just sitting there talking the whole time in Chicago, nonstop, just back and forth, back and forth. There was no awkward silences. We were just, I'm like, man, you guys, you know what? I was like, I've been really thinking about podcasts. I think it would be great to do a podcast. And they're like, hell yeah, so we tried to do it. And then like, just things were getting in the way. People were saying no. And then of course I was listening to people being an idiot. And then I bought all the stuff and it just sat in a box for like 2 years. And finally, I got it done with the fight. I looked at my wife and I'm like, I'm doing the podcast. I don't care anymore. And she's like, do what you want. And then so here we are.
Hell yeah. So I know you've had Jeremy Piven on as a guest, which is a great guest. Is he just like a friend of yours?
Yeah, I met him about a year and a half ago. I met 2 years ago. I was we had an opening at the Hard Rock in Fort Lauderdale, the Seminole.
Oh, okay.
And it was great. We just started, chopping it up, and we just kept in contact since. And he's a really good guy. He's funny, and it was just great. And he came in for a comedy show. It kind of worked out. I'm like, listen, you gotta do me one favor. Then I'll go to your show, but you gotta come on my podcast. He's like, absolutely. So. Yeah.
And your other guest that you had on was my buddy Mojo.
Who? How can I love that guy? That's like the best guy ever. I love that guy. Like he's just.
How did you guys meet? What's this relationship? I was like, because I was flipping. I'm like doing all my research, sit down, talk to you. I was like, Mojo, what the?
Yeah, so right after I won the title, when I won the title the first time, we were was it Rehab? Is that the one at is it called the Rehab? I think it's Rehab.
Maybe. I never leave my house in Las Vegas, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm hammered most of the time when I'm there, so I don't remember. I'm like, hey, where we at? What Republic? What? No. He was with Gronkowski and his brother, and we're all hanging out doing our thing. And I just, I met those guys, and I just started talking to Mojo, and he was just, life of the party, man. He was just dancing, doing his thing. And I'm like, this dude's awesome. And we just kind of started like, we started direct messaging each other, and then we just kind of just, here we are, and we texted each other.
Was he wearing his Zubas when you guys met?
100%. And then he sent me a bunch for me. I have like 8 pairs at home.
Are you wearing them?
Not right now. No, I do wear them though.
But like now. In general, you do wear them around the house.
Oh yeah.
That's the beauty of married life though. Cause Mojo pulls some babes though. I will say that guy knows how to wheel and deal out there. It's amazing to see.
Right. I was in Boston for a fight, and he sent me a video maybe after the fight. He's like, what's up, Playboy? He's like 2 girls with him. Like, I'm like, how's this man do it? Like I want to live his life. No, I wouldn't change. I love my wife.
He does just watching him in his own little bubble and atmosphere. Like I've never seen him out with Gronkowski, but I figured that was the pull of come hang out with me and Gronk. But when he's out on his own, the dude is just firing and all. I've never seen him just mellow. Right? He's always at 10. He's always at 10 or 11.
I love it. That's what I love about him. He's just his energy. You just feed off it. I could be having a bad day, and I talk to the guy. I'm like, it's I'm like a rise from a phoenix coming out of the ashes. Like that guy. He's just,
I don't get hyped. I stay hyped.
Right. I mean, he's such a sweetheart too. Cause we were actually at Disney World in Orlando. We were there, and I was like, hey, do you let's hang out? And he's like, yeah, for sure. So he was going to meet us in Disney Springs, and my daughter actually got a fever, so we went back home. Like, hey, I had to cancel. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. He's on his way. He's like, dude, don't worry. He's like, listen, baby comes first. And then my wife was like, hey, just have him come to the hotel. So I'm like, hey, do you mind coming to the hotel? And he said, yeah, no problem. And then he texts or calls me and goes, hey, do you need anything for the baby? I can stop at CVS, medicine. I'm like, what a great guy.
Yeah.
Going out of his way to say that means a lot more than anything. Trust me. That's just that's so thoughtful.
He's a very good dude at heart. He comes out loud and proud, ready to party, but he is a very good dude.
Yes.
Sweet Mojo.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
I can't wait to message him. Just be like, yeah, I basically just talked about you during the podcast. I hope that you're happy. I was trying to get dirt on you from him actually, and he was just like, I don't know, talk about our time in Vegas.
Yeah.
Everyone has a weird story in Vegas.
Yeah. The one time I remember running in. Gronk's brother was like, hey, dude, just use the bathroom in a condo. I'm like, oh, for sure. So I walk in there, and I'm coming out of the bathroom, and there's Mojo running in with a girl going to the stairs. And I'm like, what are you doing? And you hear Mojo going, hey, a little laugh. It was so funny.
Back to the firefighting world. How long have you been doing that now?
Oof, man. Well, a decade, maybe a little more than a decade.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been part-time the whole time just because, with fighting and, being, winning the title, thank God, being so grateful that, I couldn't take the opportunity to get full time just because you got to take time off and probation and all that stuff. So I want to get hired and be like, listen, I got to fight. It's just, it's not really fair to the department. So, I've been hoping that maybe in a couple of years I can get before, the age limit. So we'll see.
So when you enter a fight camp, you're not firefighting at all during that.
Oh, correct? No, I'm working. I work the week before. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What's like the gnarliest situation you've walked into in like either like an EMT or firefighting situation? You must have some stories because during COVID, I've been obsessed with watching Grey's Anatomy. So I feel like I'm a doctor at this point.
Yeah.
So we can talk shop a little bit here.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I can see it totally. Yeah. I feel
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm trying to think. I mean, nothing crazy. I mean, I remember like probably within my first year, like 10 months in, I was with my best friend. We get a call for a lady. I always tell this is the story to tell. So like we're new, pretty much newbies. You know, they put us together because like the goons are together. Screw, they'll be fine. So we get a call, and it's a lady with chest pain. Of course, we're going, and I messed up the directions. Of course, I messed up, and like she made a left to the right. But anyway, so we're like arguing in the middle of this call. I'm like, about the fist fight them, and then we real quick, we just do busted Yui real quick, run away. We get to the call, and the lady's like, I have a little chest pain, blah, blah, blah. So she do her vitals. Her vitals look great. We give her a little aspirin, some nitro, kind of calm her down, help with with the medication we give her. And she's like, oh my God, I feel so much better. So we check her vitals again, on point. Well, then we look at her, the heart monitor, and it's kind of ST elevation. Like, oh, okay, she could be having an MI, which is a heart attack. And they're like, all right, well, we're going to bring her in. And so one of our guys is like, hey, do you want me to come with you? I'm like, nah, we're good. She's feeling great. I feel confident. We're good. So they pull out, we leave, and we're driving. And I'm just talking to her normal. And all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, so where you from? And she's like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I have friends that live. And then she's out. So I'm like, oh my God. And so I'm like freaking out. I started the CPR. I shocked her. And she came back actually, and
like with the defibrillator things,
I didn't do that. Those are patches.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm by myself. I'm like, I'm clear, you're clear, we're all clear. I'm the only one back there. I'm talking to myself, and I'm like touching the button, so I don't touch anything to get shocked. And yeah, we brought her back, and it was pretty intense. It was like intense 3 or 4 minutes of my life, like more than a fight.
Oh my God,
yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, that's very, very scary.
Yeah,
but the fact that you're saying that's.
What's that?
Are you saying that that's scarier than getting ready to go in for a fight? I mean, you have somebody's full life in your, I mean, you do when you're in the ring as well, or octagon. I'm so used to WWE, the ring.
Yeah,
octagon.
Close enough.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. People are getting beat up inside either way.
Exactly.
No question.
Yeah, there's no question. Oh.
What kind of things are running through your mind before you head out to the octagon? Do you zen out? Do you hype up?
Well, I'm joking the whole time in the back, having a good time, being myself. And then, they walk out music, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And then I get, serious. And then walking out thinking about, man, why am I doing this? I could be a fireman. Like, why do people hate me? Why are they booing me? I'm a nice guy.
Does that mess with you?
No. And then I get to the octagon, and they're checking me. As I say bye to my coaches, they check me. They grease me up, and then they're like, all right, you're good to go. And I walk in, and they close the door. I'm like, well, I can't leave now. So it's kind of like a flight or flight thing.
Locked in there.
Yeah.
I just had to put together a workout playlist for this thing for Apple. And I'm curious, when you put together a workout playlist, is there one song that will be on every playlist that you put together?
Well, I really don't listen to music when I train. It's weird. I'm a weirdo. Even when I drive, it's weird. I know.
What do you listen to? What do you do?
My beautiful voice.
Just spoken word of your own.
Just talk to myself the whole time. And I do listen to music, but not. I mean, it's weird. Either I'm on a phone, or I just kind of just zone out and just drive, or working out. But if I did, it'd be MGK Till I Die. I mean, that's my walkout song. I love that song. That song, no matter what, will get me hyped.
He's a good dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great guy.
He's like crushing it right now too, huh?
He's doing well.
He's got all sorts of stuff going on. And that hot piece of ass at his side. I mean, Megan Fox, get it, dude. Am I allowed to say that? Was that rude for me to say? I think it was a compliment. I meant it as a compliment. 100%. She's a babe.
Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah. You're good.
Where does your work ethic come from? Because you just grind all the time. Where did you get that from?
I think my mother. I live with my mom. My parents divorced when I was really young, and I still saw my father, but I was with my mom all the time and just saw what she did. She'd work nights, take me to practice, and did everything. Even though she was working nights, I mean, she worked so hard, and just watch what she did. She just doesn't stop. Even though they have like a little summer house like 2 hours away, and she for like a year and a half, like she went every weekend just to work on it. Like I'm like, you're crazy. Like enjoy yourself. She's like, no, it's gotta get done, or it won't get done, and she's just nonstop.
You want to get something done, you got to ask a busy person to do it. Yeah. No question.
That's why I always ask my mom if I have something to do. Like, hey mom, can you to the garden. I'm kind of busy. She's like, oh yeah, honey, I'll be right over.
Your mom lives close to you guys?
Yeah, actually like 30 minutes. So yeah.
What did your mom do for work?
She's a paralegal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah,
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So she, she does all the dirty work and it's all good stuff. But yeah, I love the firm she works for. They're a great family. Their family, like it's like, oh, I love them. Like, they're great people.
What else is happening in the world of Cleveland? I feel like people that are from Ohio really, truly love them some Ohio. My husband is from Cincinnati, so I get like a little bit of that, mostly through like Skyline and Gold Star, through that Cincinnati chili.
Actually, what's funny you say? I was actually talking about Skyline chili last night.
Oh, really? Are you pro Skyline, or do you think it's weird?
I like it. I don't mind it. I don't eat it all the time, but when I have it, I don't mind it.
It tripped me out when I first. I was like, "This is not chili. This does not seem like chili to me at all." But it's pretty great.
Yeah, it is good.
I just finished writing a cookbook, and I did a Cincinnati chili recipe in there. So a little shout out to Cincinnati for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully people like it. I don't know. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I didn't totally butcher it.
You'll be fine. I think you'll be good.
So reasons why you've always stayed in Cleveland. You've never wanted to leave. You hometown boy.
Love it. I love everything about Cleveland. I mean, just the people there, loyalty. If you see the Browns, we've kind of not done well the last couple of years for over a decade. But yeah, no matter what, the loyalty is always there. This year, unfortunately, we made it to the playoffs when the first game was awesome, and then such a close one in that second one. But what are you going to do? But listen, no one gave us that shot, and we did a lot. And I just, and the Cavs they're doing well.
Let's just clear something up here, though, because you single-handedly were the man to break the Cleveland streak of failures. That was all on you. I mean, you really lit a fire under Cleveland's ass.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I don't say that just because I don't know.
I'll say it for you. You don't have to be bashful about it. I'll say it for you.
I'm just happy to see he has something to be proud of. It's great.
Yeah, of course. I mean, being able to see what the Cavs are doing, the Browns have, getting farther than they have since '94. Is that right?
Oh yeah, it's been 299. I have no idea. Nice. I have no idea. Good call. Actually, I legit have no idea.
I don't know either. I'm pretty sure that I read that online, but it could 100% be false.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Your guess is probably better than mine. I should know that, and I don't.
When you won the championship, you got to have a big parade, right?
Yeah. So when the Cavs won, they're like, "Hey, we're on a parade. We want you to be in it." And actually, at the same time, the minor league team they have in the city actually won the Calder Cup for the minor leagues they have for hockey. And so it was a big cool parade, And I was the first car. It was awkward because it kept stopping because everyone's in the way, and they're like, "Yeah, good job," and they got really quiet and awkward. Then the Cavs had a bus. They're all drinking, having a good time. I'm like, man, I want to be back there. Can I switch? I want to hang out with those guys.
Right. It's not as fun to just do that by yourself. You're just up on the pedestal celebrating while everyone else is in team form, raging.
Yeah, right. I wanted to so bad. I was watching J.R. Smith ripping out his shirt. I mean, he never had his shirt off, but he never had his shirt on, which is great. That's what he is. He's awesome.
Let it out,
right?
Get it all out there. Yeah. So you've excelled at many different sports from obviously baseball, fighting. What is one sport, if you could be a professional at it, other than what you do now, what would you do?
Golf.
Oh, okay.
You don't get beat up. Just train harder. No,
that's true. I think that's a fair point.
No, yeah.
You only have to work I don't know how many PGA tours there are, but
it's great. You get to walk all the time, enjoy the weather. I mean, it's great. I think it's such an interesting game because it's so hard. Because one day you can be the best, the next day you can be the worst. That's what I love about it. And but the one sport I do besides that would be hockey.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah! I love hockey. I love everything about it. I feel like those guys are the same as MMA fighters. They're tough guys, but they're big teddy bears.
Do you get out? I guess you'd have to go to Columbus for games?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have a minor league team here in Cleveland.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean for pro either that or Pittsburgh. They're probably the same distance.
Oh yeah. Not bad places to have to go for hockey. Actually, the arena in Columbus is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Anytime we'd be there for WWE. So I grew up in Canada, so playing hockey and being on the ice is in my blood. And they had the practice rink set up. I'd always be I wish I had skates. I want to go on there. It's such a cool arena.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and they have Tim Hortons there. Give me all that Canada.
Those donuts are amazing.
Oh, the best. Absolutely. Are you a creature of habit? You've been working out at the same gym your entire career, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like change much. Like, I don't mind changing a lot, but like a drastic change, it's not really my cup of tea.
What kind of bad habits do you have?
I chew tobacco.
Oh
I'm that guy.
The worst. My husband does that, and he leaves the dip bottles all over the house.
I do not do that.
Crazy.
I do not do that. I do throw mine away because my wife would throw me downstairs if I did that.
Can she come to my house and like rule with an iron fist? Because obviously what I'm doing is not getting through.
Yeah, no. Well, you start like pregnant now, so she's like, "Hey, listen, guy, like, just play this card because my wife she played when she was pregnant. That smell in that bottle makes you really sick. You got to take care of it before."
I tried that. I did try that. So wait, I had to pick my vice though with him. I was like, "Hey, I can't drink right now. Maybe you shouldn't drink." And he was like, "Okay." So he's actually jumped on the bandwagon with me, which is like shocking.
Oh, wow.
I know.
You. I was like, listen, I got a DD for the next 10 months. I am in.
Well, right. I mean, not that there's anywhere to go, because otherwise that would have been a good move. Yeah. But now now it's not as fun because there's nowhere to go. Or if you do, it just feels weird. So we've not gone anywhere, but the dip will be the next one that I get on.
Baby steps, you got to crawl before you walk. Just, you got it. I got faith.
So about your wife, let's get into a little romance. How did you guys meet? Give us your little story.
Do you want the real story or the story I tell everyone before the real story?
I want the real story.
Okay. The real story. We actually, I was, working at the fire station, and prior to that, when I was going to the fire academy, one of our really, really good friends, one of our best friends was boyfriend at the time was with me in fire academy. So I would hang out with them once in a while. And then her friend was like, "Hey, you need to meet this girl, blah, blah, blah. You guys are gonna hit it off. Like, you guys are perfect for each other." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, for sure, blah, blah." And so for 7 years, it just never happened. I made 5 or 7 years. I don't know how. It was a long time.
You were procprocrastinating.
No. I was not. No, I was like, she's hot. I'm gonna try it. That was on that one. But she was either she went to Florida for a little bit, lived in Florida for a little bit. Try to change it up, and I always got stuff going on, and then she was dating someone. I was dating someone, so it just never lined up perfectly. And then randomly, her brother started working with me at the fire station. And we did like a pancake breakfast. She walked in, and I'm like, "Oh wow, she's beautiful." But never talked to her. She didn't say hi to me. They were just kind of, did her thing. We're, handing out pancakes to everyone and doing her thing. And then, like the next day, her friend, she said she didn't know me, I was like, "That's bullshit lie." So I'm sorry, I don't know if I was allowed to swear, but.
Oh, you can say whatever you want on the show. The show's called Oral Sessions. You can say whatever you want. You're good.
All right. I was like, "That's a bullshit lie." She still says no to this day, but whatever. Anyway, her friend texts me and says, "Hey, my friend's single now. Do you want to meet?" I'm like, "Yes, hang out sometime, let's do it." I'm sitting like 5 minutes later. I'm like, "Dude, I haven't had this girl in like 3 years." I'm like, "Just give me your number." And so my first text message to my wife was, "Hey, it's your stalker." And here we are.
Perfect.
Married 4 years with a baby.
What was the first date?
So I asked her, we talked for like a week or so, and I'm like, "Hey, do you want to, go out?" She's like, "For sure." And then her brother heard about it, and her brother's like, "No, I'm not dealing with that. It's, at work, because we work together." He's like, "I'm not dealing with that." And she called me. She's like, "Hey, I can't do it." I'm like, "Whoa, why?" She's like, "My brother." I'm like, "Give me 5 minutes." So I call her brother. I'm like, "Listen, dude, like, I ain't trying anything. Like, I've been talking to her, texting, talking on the phone. Like, I do enjoy talking. I want to get to know her. Like, I ain't trying anything. Like I want to get to know her, dude." Like, he's like, "Fine." He's like, "But you got to come to my house with my parents." I'm like, that is all me.
No.
I'm like, "Huh." I know, I love it. Like, that's my thing. Like, yes.
Meeting the parents is like the good. Okay.
Just talking.
You thrive in that situation.
Oh yeah. That was like everything I needed. I'm like, perfect. I'm like, yes. So I walk in like a boss, and I was like, "What's up, guys?" And her father actually said, when I walked in, he said, like, "I knew you were going to marry him just by the look on your face."
Ooh la la. And now you've got a baby. How old's your daughter?
2.5.
All right. What kind of parent advice can you throw my way? I have not a clue what I'm doing.
Exactly. Just have fun.
All right. Yeah, I've never even changed a diaper. So
that's easy. Honestly. Do you know what you're having?
Yeah, I'm having a girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Listen, my wife told me front to back. Just no front to back when you're white.
I was explaining that to my husband. He's like, "What?" I'm like, I assure you, front to back. Yes. Don't mess that up. Do not mess that up.
Easy. Yeah. I mean, make sure when you get the toilet diaper, you roll good. so it doesn't open back up, and you went to go for the wipes, and instead you're going to grab poop instead of the wipes, which has happened to me a couple of, yeah.
God.
Not-
No.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
terrifying. Has
Yeah.
having a kid changed anything for you when you get into the octagon or when you're training? Because I always hear about like dad strength kicking in. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Not that you need it. You're the most dangerous man in the whole world, but
Thank
that
you.
one leg up.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely think it helps. You know, I have something to fight for now, which even I did before, but now it's more than anything. You know, now it's about my children's legacy, making sure they're taken care of. God forbid something happens to me, or you know, once you know I'm done with this life. Later on in life, they still have they're taken care of. That's all I care about.
Cleveland food. What is like the main food in Cleveland? Like pierogies or something?
Everything. Just name it. There's tons. There's pierogies. You know, there's kielbasa. There's gyros.
Ooh.
I mean, I can go for days. I mean, there's so many different just ethnicities, and just there's so much good food. Just downtown Cleveland, you go downtown, it's great. Even the outskirts, there's so many good places to go.
What about Croatian food? What is Croatian food?
Slovak. You know, it's like they have like stuffed cabbage and cevapi. These little like
Ooh.
pork and lamb. Those are really good actually. I mean, just name it. It's pretty much like all the same, but just their style, like their the way of making it. That makes sense, you know. It's like pizza, you got New York style, you got Chicago. It's kind of like that, the way they make it, you know.
Okay. Do you get to Croatia at all?
I did. I was going like once a year. You know, I went on vacation, and after that, I was kind of with fighting, which is great because it kind of got to hang out there for a week, and I got to see my parents and my father, and hung out with him and stuff like that. So it was great.
All right. Well, any other parting tips for us as you're on your way out? I mean, I know you're a very busy man. You've got a ton of different things going on.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I really appreciate you guys having me on. This is awesome. This is fun. I mean, sometimes you get on some of these and they're like, yes, you questions. You're like, yeah, cool. It's like, so, I mean, you guys are awesome. This is great. This is so much fun. And I appreciate everything. And, God bless you and your family, with the baby and everything.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you guys. When's the due date, by the way?
June 11th.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. My daughter was actually a Leo too. So we have 3 Leos, me, my wife, and my daughter, all Leos.
What is like a Leo personality trait?
Besides me, I'm actually pretty laid back, but like my wife and my daughter, they're just angry and pissed all the time.
Oh no.
I'm just joking. No, it's like an alpha thing, you know what I mean? Just you're like, oh, it's so bad because I remember a couple of weeks ago I took my daughter, we take her to school. She has like a daycare, but it's like school at the same time. Mm-hmm. I remember walking in, they won't let you in. You see them through the doorway because every parent, because of safety. I look and I'm seeing my daughter who's sitting there pointing to each kid and telling them where to sit. And they're like, 8, 10-year-old kids. I'm like, what is he doing? And she's like, oh, she's telling the kid where to sit. I'm like, oh God. Oh, it starts
little
like
bossy bitch.
100%. She is the biggest bossy bitch for sure. That's I love it. It means good because I want her to be a leader. But
of course.
But then at the same time, I'm thinking, I'm like, man, if I'm gone when she's older, like, is she gonna throw a rager at the house? Like, is she gonna make, you know what I mean? These are the things I think about now.
100%. Listen, it's going to start with the bouncy castle and it's only going to spread from there. Those parties are going to get more and more wild. You only have yourself to blame.
This is true. I understand. I understand.
Your podcast, when can we hear it? What do you have coming up? Any new guests? What's the deal?
I was every Monday. It comes out pretty much on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And pretty much Google Podcasts. I'm trying to think. There's so many of them. I have no idea, but they're on all of them. It's called Jabs, Just Awkward Buddies. We had Mojo on.
You're not awkward though. You're really not awkward. I don't know what's with the awkwardness.
Well, between us, our buddies, like our friends, because like we sit there and just kind of just talk shit to each other, and just sometimes it gets awkward, But we actually just had my coach on, my head coach Marcus. He was on. That was a good one. That was a long one. We were there for 3 hours, so we're probably a 2-part special of that.
Getting into that Rogan territory, damn.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, we were drinking wine, eating some cheese and meats, and just having a good time with it,
A charcuterie and some wine amongst friends.
I mean, you couldn't beat it. It was like the best Friday ever, And then, that's about it. I mean, we'll have more guests here in about a week or two. We'll start getting more people in just because, just everything's going on. I'm out of town. It's been tough. So we're going to sit down and kind of break it down and see who we can get on. And, which I do like one every other episode, maybe one every 2 episodes. So.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, everybody check out that podcast. Keep an eye out on all things Stipe Miocic. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me. Now you can go play Call of Duty.
Thank you so
Go
much.
kill some shit.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.